Jasmine Crockett strode into the hearing room, a figure defined by her fierce determination and courage. The air was thick, charged with anxiety and anticipation, as the date marked a decisive moment in American politics. This wasn't just another hearing. It was a battlefield where the influence of technology met the enduring fight for civil liberties. As the fearless Congresswoman confronted the corporate giant Elon Musk, the stakes couldn't have been higher. A cacophony of camera clicks echoed in the crowded chamber. Reporters perched eagerly on their seats, eyes glinting with the glow of their devices, while aides huddled over their notepads furiously scribbling down every word, every gesture, every ounce of tension crackling through the air. Above the podium hung a banner emblazoned with the words, "Oversight on Government Innovation." Today, however, the proceedings felt all too reminiscent of Judgment Day. Dressed impeccably in a navy blazer and with her hair tied in a low bun, Jasmine made her way to the front as if carrying the profound weight of scrupulous truth upon her shoulders. She moved past the endless rows of spectators, advocates for civil liberties, concerned citizens, and eager journalists, her expression resolute, signaling that she wasn't there to entertain any trivialities, she was there to expose the truth. At 9:03 a.m., the doors swung open to reveal Elon Musk. He sauntered in casually, clad in a black-on-black suit and dark sunglasses, embodying confidence and charisma. He exuded an aura of invincibility, keenly aware of the spectacle unfolding before him. To him, the hearing was little more than a show, a stage for him to perform on. Yet the weight of Jasmine's message loomed over him, a silent hurricane brewing in the background. As Musk settled into his seat, Jasmine's steadfast gaze locked onto him, her mind racing with the facts she was prepared to unveil. Supposedly the innovator of the age, Musk was on the cusp of facing the mirror and witnessing the reflection of his alleged transgressions. Behind the privacy curtains of federal programs funded by taxpayer dollars, a secretive surveillance initiative was at play, running amok without public consent or congressional approval. According to the federal auditor's report, SpaceX and its subsidiary, Neuror AI, had gained access to astronomical sums designed under the guise of urban innovation. The public was told that funds would be redirected toward enhancing municipal services, think smarter traffic systems for better commute experiences, elevated waste management, and streamlined building regulations. It was a narrative laced with promises of modern convenience. However, hidden beneath layers of jargon and euphemisms, a far more sinister application lurked. Jasmine took a deep breath, the moment sharpening her focus. The report had clearly shown that, in 38 counties across the country, the nascent technology was employed not just to streamline city operations but to monitor and surveil their inhabitants, covertly gathering facial recognition data and recording conversations. This blatant invasion of the citizens' right to privacy was nothing less than pure abuse of power. The inquiry into Musk was monumental, not merely a pursuit of funds misallocated, but a quest to uphold the sanctity of individual freedoms. And so she readied herself for the pivotal question that would echo in the remnants of history. Who gave you permission to watch us? Each syllable she prepared to voice was a manifesto against overreach, a clarion call for accountability, a symbolic reckoning that transcended the corporate veneer. The atmosphere transformed palpably, tension escalating sharply as the committee chair cleared his throat and initiated the formalities of the proceedings. But before he managed to navigate the scripted formality, Musk gracefully interrupted, rising from his seat, a familiar tactic to dominate the narrative. "Thank you, Mr. Chair," he drawled, his tone casual, his indifference palpable. "I believe we can skip the formalities. Let's dive right into the heart of the matter." With this, Musk had signaled his intent to take control. He exuded confidence that radiated through the chamber, but Jasmine remained unruffled, poised to counter his charisma with unwavering resolve. Each word he uttered, despite its smooth delivery, fell flat against the gravity of the accusations awaiting him. "The truth is," Musk continued, his voice dripping with self-assurance. Technology moves faster than the law. I'm here to innovate, to serve the people. I'm the only one in this room who truly understands the future of technology. Jasmine stood firm, silently absorbing his bravado without a flinch. The moment for retaliation was drawing near. She clicked her remote and projected a stark slide onto the screen. Bold black letters spelling out the defining statement: public service automation is not a right to surveillance. The words reverberated through the space, silence enveloping the room and merging with the electric charge present. Mr. Musk, Jasmine intoned, utilizing the waning silence to magnify her speech. This isn't about mere innovation. This is about respect for citizens and their unassailable right to privacy. The people must know. What do you call it when the very technology designed to protect them has been manipulated to surveil them? A shift occurred. The cameras caught Musk's transition from confidence to an unsettling stillness, a fleeting crack that revealed even the most self-absorbed billionaires could be susceptible to the undeniable weight of moral truth. Jasmine seized the moment. With one swift click, she launched into the heart of her accusations. In January of this year, your surveillance AI system recorded conversations within a public community center without consent, tallying over 1,700 unauthorized recordings, she declared, her voice strengthening in solidarity with the vulnerable individuals whose freedoms had been encroached upon. Is this true, Mr. Musk? The room's silence deepened, palpable, like the steady beat of a drum echoing through her every breath. Musk's eyes darted from the data projected on screen to Jasmine, each moment stretching into eternity as he deliberated. Gum on the puppet strings of self-importance, he grasped at straws for a coherent retort. At that moment, time stood still. But Jasmine was just getting started. She clicked again, illuminating the screen with timestamps, the names of innocent citizens whose lives had been unsettled by Musk's AI system. These are real people, Jasmine pressed forward, her gaze unwavering. They are families that trusted you, believed they were only being provided support. Each word carried a weight that reverberated through the room, building toward a crescendo of indignation. This isn't merely a technology, it's a grave violation of trust, she stated, her voice firm as she directed attention back to Musk. Are you so blinded by success that you ignore the humans behind the data points? These individuals were not mere metrics, they were the fabric of our society. The lines between innovation and exploitation have blurred under your watch. Musk could feel the tide shifting against him. The once unassailable tech giant now sank deeper into his seat, as Jasmine painted a vivid picture of wrongdoings. You sit here in your billionaire bubble, thinking you can claim progress while erasing the very civil rights everyone is entitled to. I ask again, who gave you permission? After a slight pause that felt as if it could have lasted decades, Musk finally attempted to salvage his honor, straightening up with a defensive stance. What we're doing is building smarter cities. AI learns how to analyze community needs to serve them better. You misconstrue this conversation into a perimeter of surveillance, he gestured, desperation arising in his voice. Do not patronize the narrative, Jasmine countered, voice simmering over. We do not condemn innovation, we condemn the shadowy dealings you hide beneath your brand. Our citizens deserve better than being unwitting subjects of an experiment. Determination now lit her eyes. The audience, captured by her clarity, began to murmur in agreement. Jasmine clicked yet again, showcasing a video. A grainy yet powerful scene depicting a frail elderly woman, unaware that her home was becoming a hub for surveillance under the pretense of social support. As the video unfolded, the woman, fragile and vulnerable, opened a letter inviting her to partake in a free health screening, completely oblivious to the truth lurking behind the facade. This device, Jasmine narrated, voice steady but full of emotion, is a Neuror AI microphone, which records every word spoken in its vicinity. With that device, trust is not just eroded, it is obliterated. Panic now swept through Musk's expression, apprehension mounting as he saw the walls closing in on him. With every frame passed, he could feel the collective indignation of the room building. You have used public funds intended for care and assistance for conquest, Jasmine stated, her eyes stealing back on the tech mogul. You have manipulated base fears of societal collapse under the guise of progress. Her indignant fervor surged. What sin had those people committed? They trusted a system meant to protect them while you sought to control them. This isn't just irresponsibility. This is an atrocity, and it's happening right now. The room erupted in gasps, shock ricocheting off the walls like ricocheting shots. A Republican congressman rose, unable to contain his disbelief. These actions are unacceptable. We need immediate action, a full-scale investigation right now. His voice thundered as his conviction transformed into momentum. The atmosphere escalated as chaos ensued. The committee buzzed with conversations, murmurs intermingling into a tapestry of disbelief, anger, and reinforcement. Jasmine had thrown the gauntlet down. The notion that one individual, Musk, could reckon with the public's rights. The notion that one individual, Musk, could reckon with the public's rights so casually was now at the forefront of every committee member's mind. Jasmine leaned into the moment, her confidence growing in the wake of the chaos she had unleashed. As the voices in the room swelled, calling for accountability, she understood that she was not just representing herself, but also serving as a beacon for every citizen whose rights had been bulldozed in the name of progress. Mr. Musk, Jasmine began again, her voice slicing through the disarray like a knife. You may have positioned yourself as the harbinger of innovation, but under scrutiny, your actions speak louder than any polished statement you deliver. She scrutinized Musk's face, searching for any sign of fortitude that had once characterized his demeanor. With every passing moment, his confidence wavered as history loomed overhead, heavy with ramifications that could crumble his empire. Jasmine pressed on, we stand here today not merely as representatives of our constituencies, but as the defenders of the very freedoms that many fought and sacrificed to preserve. We will not allow technology to become an instrument of surveillance that undermines the tenets of a democratic society. We must know, what safeguards can you provide that ensure our citizens won't become collateral damage in these smart initiatives? Musk's eyes narrowed, the familiar arrogance transformed into cold calculation. This is about efficiency, he insisted, trying to regain lost ground. In a world where danger is reckoned with every second, I'm merely acting in the capacity of ensuring enhanced public safety. We gather data to better serve the communities. Serve the communities? Jasmine echoed, a scornful glint sparking in her eyes. You equate control with service. Your data collection is a guise to repackage exploitation. You don't have the right to impose your vision upon us. What we need is discussion, transparency, and trust. Instead, you've wielded fear and manipulation to create an environment where people are treated like commodities, mere statistics on a ledger. Musk attempted to counter, yet each word felt like it was falling on deaf ears. The seasoned politician had crafted a narrative that resonated with skepticism, distrust, and the feeling of betrayal after years of purported allegiance to technological advancement. As Jasmine spoke, the room, once pulsing with Musk's bravado, sprang forth embers of revolt against his exploitative tactics. Rather than allow him to regroup, Jasmine leaned into the visual and auditory experiences she had curated. She activated another slide, one that detailed the dollar amounts being funneled from social assistance programs into Musk's ventures, a stark illumination, indeed. Look at these numbers, she challenged, feeling the electric atmosphere tighten further. Funding meant for vulnerable communities has been radically diverted into your public surveillance contracts. This is reprehensible. These funds are intended for those who need them most, children with disabilities, seniors struggling to make ends meet. You have exploited human compassion and trust. Why? Each data point hung like a noose around Musk's assertions, leaving him flailing, his self-spun narrative unraveling right in front of him. The glint of cameras captured every shift in Musk's posture, his face flushing as the gravity of the situation crept into view. This moment was potent, he was no longer in control. The citizens deserve clarity, Mr. Musk, Jasmine pressed. Do you honestly believe that this is the path to sustainable progress? By siphoning off essential funds from social programs and redirecting them toward an expansive surveillance apparatus? You might have the technology at your fingertips, but ethical integrity is not something you can automate. Will you investigate and come clean about these practices? Will you retract and apologize to the very communities you claim to support? For a heartbeat, the chamber was silent, the entire audience awaiting his reply. There was a feeling in the air akin to holding one's breath for too long. The pressure seemed to intensify as Musk remained immobile, visibly rattled. He opened his mouth, but no words emerged. The once mighty innovator was now just a man facing the truth. A truth that he had attempted to obfuscate with glimmering promises but could no longer escape. Finally, he cleared his throat, trying to reclaim some semblance of his earlier swagger. The world is complex. What we're trying to create, it's not just about today, it's about a vision for the future. We need to adapt faster than legislation allows. However, the fanged bravado of his words now felt more like a desperate lifeline than the sound of a confident man. The future cannot be built on the ashes of trust, Mr. Musk, Jasmine rebutted, unwavering. Innovation must be rooted in accountability, it must involve the community, and it must prioritize people's rights. Otherwise, what you are constructing is not a future, it is a prison masquerading as progress. A murmur of agreement rippled through the audience. Jasmine's passionate stand was becoming the rallying cry for reforms, resonating far beyond the chamber. She was waging a war not just against one billionaire but against a paradigm that had normalized data extraction and exploitation of privacy. Taking a deep breath, she pivoted back to the committee members, urging them with her steady gaze. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't merely about one company or one individual. This is about institutional responsibility and the societal consequences of indiscriminate technological advancement. This is a chance for us, the representatives of the people, to stand resolutely against overreach and call for proper regulations on technology that respects our shared humanity. The committee, emboldened by her fight, stirred. With every word Jasmine spoke, she built a coalition of resolve against the status quo, laying the foundation for renewed legislative measures to protect civil liberties from the encroachment of surveillance. Elon Musk, once again, found himself in a precarious position. His empire had been challenged, and for the first time, it was clear that his vision could flounder under the pressure of public scrutiny and outrage. Fumes of frustration seeped from his being as he realized that the very system he thought he could manipulate could also be an instrument of accountability against him. As the hearing continued, Jasmine Crockett's irrefutable arguments and unwavering spirit became the essence of hope, illuminating the path toward a renewed legislative approach to technology and privacy rights. Her handiwork was not just about winning a confrontation. She was awakening the conscience of a nation divided and pushing for a revolt against complacency. At that moment, Jasmine didn't just stand against Musk. She stood for every victim of privacy violations, every neglected community, and every citizen that feared becoming an unwitting subject in the sprawling web of digital control. She was not just a congresswoman in that room. She had become a champion of rights, a harbinger of change, and the embodiment of a nation yearning for truth in the face of silence. And in that moment, amidst the swirling horizon of conflict, Jasmine closed her eyes and took a breath, ready to lead a collective forward into the dawning light of accountability, justice, and the undeniable march toward progress rooted in integrity and respect. As the hearing adjourned, history began to ripple outward from room 216, igniting conversations and generations ready to challenge authority, question data narratives, and seize the power to reclaim their rights as citizens.